Are you a Hong Kong independence supporter? I'm just a reporter. I'm just a reporter from Hong Kong. If you're a Hong Kong independence supporter, I won't talk to you. If you're Chinese, I'll talk to you. Are you Chinese? Are you Chinese? Are you Chinese? I just want to. Do you know Hong Kong from 100 years ago?
Alright. Let's not talk about it.
A Hong Kong reporter overseas recently interviewed a Chinese little pink and was asked whether he supported Hong Kong independence. The interview sparked a heated exchange over identity as a young Hong Kong resident confronted two pro-CCP elderly individuals in his neighborhood, leading to a loud argument.
This scumbag insults his own country. I'm not Chinese. I'm a Hong Konger. Your ID says you're Chinese. Look closely, scumbag.
A Hong Kong vlogger raised the question, why are Hong Kong people being bullied for simply identifying as Hong Kongers? A viral video shows a Chinese woman shopping in a Hong Kong convenience store, allegedly treated unfavorably by a young cashier, leading to a dispute. When the woman heard the cashier refer to himself as a Hong Konger, she angrily retorted that he would only ever be a cashier. Who do you think you are, talking to me like that? You deserve to be a cashier for life. I'll tell you, I'm Chinese. Aren't you Chinese?
No, I'm a Hong Konger.
You're a Hong Konger, right?
I'm a Hong Konger.
You're not Chinese. You deserve to be a cashier for life. Get out of here. Who do you think you are insulting me? In 2019, Hong Kong saw mass protests against the proposed extradition bill. As of October 31st, 2022, Hong Kong police had arrested over 10,000 people during various demonstrations. The Chinese government's heavy-handed crackdown on the protests is regarded as the most severe political crisis Hong Kong has faced since its establishment. In June 2020, the Chinese government imposed the Hong Kong national security law, sparking backlash and prompting the US to revoke Hong Kong's special treatment status and pass the Hong Kong Autonomy Act. Following the implementation of national security law, Hong Kong experienced a new wave of immigration, with about 300,000 people relocating overseas. According to the UK Home Office, by March 2025, approximately 179,000 BNO, British national overseas visa applications were approved, with about 163,000 people already arriving in the UK. Hong Kong pro-democracy activist Ted Hui Chi-fung, now in exile, wrote on August 16 that he was granted asylum in Australia on August 15. He emphasized exile is not immigration and urged the Australian government not to forget those still suffering in Hong Kong's prisons. He mentioned Jimmy Lai, founder of Hong Kong-based media company Next Digital, and others involved in the pro-democracy primaries case. Those who remain in Hong Kong must be cautious to avoid violating the national security law. After the Chinese government's crackdown, they're pushing to further control Hong Kong by reshaping the mindset of its people. The Hong Kong education system is rapidly aligning with Beijing standards. In October 2023, China's National People's Congress Standing Committee passed the Patriotic Education Law, which will take effect in 2024. This law includes specific provisions for Hong Kong and Macau, requiring them to implement such education. In the 2024 school year, Hong Kong middle school textbooks will feature Xi Jinping thought for the first time. In June 2024, Hong Kong's Education Bureau criticized students for singing the national anthem too quietly and called for strengthening their confidence and habit of singing. Some people questioned whether even mainland China enforces this strictly, wondering if Hong Kong's next generation is being molded into little pinks, an online term for young nationalistic Chinese people who strongly support the Chinese government's policies. On August 21st, 2024, the Hong Kong and Macau Special Administrative Regions governments set up the first Hong Kong and Macau Youth Patriotic Education base in Beijing. Chinese state media reported that the move aligns with Xi Jinping's instructions, leveraging mainland China's resources to organize more youth from Hong Kong and Macau for visits and learning. Australian scholar Lin Song said the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, believes Hong Kong and Macau residents aren't patriotic enough, thus increasing control. However, patriotism has different definitions. People define patriotism as love for the people of the country, but for the CCP, patriotism means loving the party, which is the key difference. Hongkongers feel significant disdain toward the Chinese government and Xi Jinping. The Hong Kong Book Fair took place from July 16 to 22, 2024. On the opening day, a new book launch was held for Xi Jinping's works in traditional Chinese, the writing system used in Hong Kong and Taiwan, as opposed to the simplified writing system used in mainland China. However, a reporter observed that after nearly an hour, no one had even opened Xi's book, despite its prominent placement. Taiwanese scholar Lai Rongwei stated that after the anti-extradition movement, Xi Jinping became determined to remold Hong Kong and Macau. He said that older generations in Hong Kong who experienced the opening up and freedoms of Hong Kong and Macau represent a major concern for Beijing. Those still living in Hong Kong may oppose Xi Jinping and the CCP, but out of necessity, they can only remain silent. Lai Rongwei compared the CCP's approach to manipulating children to their methods in Xinjiang, where children are isolated from their parents' ideologies, creating a generation gap. This, he argued, is a dehumanizing method that only leads to more societal conflicts. In addition to political alienation, many Hong Kongers also feel culturally disconnected from the growing number of mainland Chinese immigrants or tourists, leading to frequent conflicts. A Hong Kong social media personality stated that one of the things mainland Chinese people enjoy the most is causing trouble in Hong Kong, which only makes Hong Kongers dislike them more. Hurry up and order! Can't you hear me? Hurry up, I want to eat here, hurry! Which law says you can't break the bowls? I don't understand what's wrong with breaking the bowl. Two Chinese individuals at a restaurant in Hong Kong sat at a 4-person table. When a staff member approached to remind them and asked them to move, they offered free drinks as compensation. However, the Chinese woman made unreasonable demands, insisting that the entire bill be waived. She then lost control of her emotions, throwing a bowl to the ground and injuring herself in the process. When the police arrived, it was reported that the woman continued to yell at the staff and even questioned which law prohibited breaking a bowl while eating there. A video shows Chinese tourists in the Hong Kong tram not only eating while walking, but also failing to fasten their seatbelts. In an even more troubling move, they placed several large suitcases in the aisle, blocking the passage and causing great frustration for the driver. A Chinese man traveling on a Hong Kong bus only paid $2 Hong Kong for the fare. When the driver reminded him, he not only refused to pay the correct amount, but also became angry, demanding the driver return the money. The confrontation escalated, drawing attention from other passengers.
Get off the car. You give me money, I'll get off. Why should I give you money? I'll complain about you. I'm not a local from Hong Kong. I'm from mainland China. Let me show you my passport, okay?
The driver called the police, and the passengers spat at the driver. Another Chinese tourist was told she could not bring her large stroller onto a bus. In a panic, she threw the stroller away and began a heated argument with the driver. You speak to me in Mandarin. I don't understand.
Go ahead, vent. I'm letting you rant.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Keep talking. It's fine. I'll wait for you to finish before driving.
The driver explained that the passenger's constant shouting made it impossible for him to focus on his job. Don't scan, don't scan. Who are you? Are you the Hong Konger who is discriminating against me? I haven't discriminated against you, but you're discriminating against me. A Chinese woman in Hong Kong angrily yelled at a female sanitation worker in the street, even claiming, "You're discriminating against me. I'll sue you until you go bankrupt and end up in prison." A video also shows a Chinese woman getting into a taxi in Hong Kong, completely disregarding traffic rules by insisting the driver stop in the middle of the road. The driver refused, and the argument led to a dispute, with other vehicles forced to detour, creating a chaotic scene. You're still not letting me off.
Whether or not I take the money isn't important. You want me to let you get off in the middle of the road? What if there's an accident?
I'll give you money.
It's not about the money. Can't get off in the middle of the road. How can you do that?
Hong Kong is not only adopting China's political model, but also aligning itself with mainland China in various aspects of economic and social governance. For example, Hong Kong, which has traditionally built railways based on British or European standards, is planning to introduce China's national standards for the North Link Railway connecting to the Shenzhen-Huanggang port. This has raised concerns in the community. The Hong Kong government claims that mainland China's infrastructure and railway technology have reached a world-leading level, despite criticism over the quality of mainland Chinese construction projects in recent years. Recently, the Hong Kong government office revised the supply of bottled water from mainland China, only to have a counterfeiting scandal emerge. A supplier was exposed for providing not only fake bottled water, but also falsifying water quality certification. According to local media reports, the Hong Kong government offices had previously been ordering drinking water from local groups like Watson's and Swire Coca-Cola. They recently announced a change in their water supplier. The 3-year contract is expected to save the warehouse 16 million Hong Kong dollars annually. One of the winning suppliers, Xin Dingxin Trade, which secured a 52.9 million Hong Kong dollar contract for the Hong Kong Island and some outlying islands, was responsible for providing 1.9 million barrels of Xinle Guanyin Mountain bottled water provided by 3 companies, including Revolt Group in Guangdong. However, Hong Kong local media discovered that the Chinese National Medical Products Administration had reported that Revolt Group's bottled natural spring water had bromate level that exceeded the standard by 40%, potentially causing cancer. On August 16, the Hong Kong Government Logistics Department announced that it had suspended its contract with Xin Dingxin Trade. The department stated it no longer trusted the company's ability to fulfill the contract and had reported the case to the police. Revolt Group also clarified that it did not collaborate with Xin Dingxin Trade, but the supplier had approached them for water quality reports. It is believed that someone submitted the report to the Hong Kong government to prove their water met the standards. Following an investigation, the Hong Kong police arrested a couple involved in the case, who were the directors and shareholders of Xin Dingxin Trade. Police are also seeking a mainland Chinese man connected to the case. Police revealed that nearly 2,600 barrels of bottled water were found in a warehouse in Yuanlong. Tracing the logistics supply chain, it was discovered that the water had been sourced from a water plant in Zhangmutou, Dongguan, Guangdong, and sent to various Hong Kong government offices on Hong Kong Island and outlying islands. The scandal surrounding the Hong Kong government's procurement of bottled water from mainland China has captured the public's attention. After the Hong Kong government started using Chinese brand bottled water, a photo circulated on social media showing over 50 boxes of Hong Kong branded bottled water piled up in some government offices. It was reported that civil servants ordered the water online with concerns that water from mainland China might not be clean. This suggests a lack of trust in the government's choice of Chinese brands and hints at a form of subtle resistance. A new term has gained popularity in Hong Kong: soft resistance. This term describes any action seen as subtly subverting or resisting the government. It has frequently appeared in news reports, speeches by senior officials, and warnings from government departments. Hong Kong officials and propaganda agencies say that soft resistance may manifest in various areas, such as book fairs, song lyrics, U.S. holiday celebrations, or even environmental groups. Analysts believe this could be an excuse for the CCP to launch a new round of repressive purges. Since the implementation of the national security law and the full takeover of Hong Kong by the Chinese government, Hong Kong's economic situation has worsened. In the job market, mainland Chinese workers now compete fiercely with local Hong Kongers. Mainland Chinese workers are being criticized by locals to go back to the mainland. Recently, a Hong Kong businessman openly stated that mainland Chinese workers have brought poor workplace culture to Hong Kong. Some workers have voluntarily given up holidays, stayed on call 24/7, and even lowered their wages from 20,000 to 15,000 Hong Kong dollars to compete for jobs. Additionally, mainland Chinese workers can work 21 days a month for 37,800 Hong Kong dollars, while local workers will only work 15 days. In other words, Chinese workers contribute a 1.5 times the workload. As a result, construction sites are increasingly filled with Chinese workers, while local Hong Kong workers are becoming fewer. The outcome is that employers prefer to hire mainland Chinese workers who are cheaper and more compliant, while local Hong Kongers are being squeezed out. Meanwhile, as more Chinese workers arrive, housing rents in Hong Kong continue to rise, making it harder for locals to survive. Faced with the continuous influx of Chinese workers, Hong Kongers are beginning to push back. This year, the Hong Kong Construction Workers Union pressured the government to stop importing foreign labor. From May to July this year, the unemployment rate in Hong Kong rose to 3.7%, the highest in nearly 3 years. The unemployment rate in the restaurant and construction industries exceeded 6%. Experts point out that while Hong Kong's economy showed growth in the first half of the year, it is unlikely to be sustained and should be seen as a temporary halt in a downturn. At the same time, the property market continues to slump, and layoffs and business closures persist. Taiwanese columnist Hong Puzhao recently wrote that the Hong Kong Tourism Development Board's latest figures show 4.4 million visitors in July 2025, a 12% annual increase, with 76% of visitors coming from China. In the first 7 months of this year, the number of Chinese visitors totaled 21.3 million, far exceeding the 6.7 million from overseas tourists. While it may seem like a tourism boom, it is closely related to Hong Kong's changing demographic structure. The net influx of people to Hong Kong in recent years has largely been from China, signaling a quiet population reset. Reports have indicated that various talent import programs from Hong Kong, such as the high-end talent pass scheme, mainly consider education and income levels. The Secretary for Labor and Welfare, Sun Yuhan, confirmed that over 94% of those approved under these programs are from China. Additionally, in foreign labor imports, Chinese background workers dominate in certain professional fields. The author believes that the Chinese government's approach to Hong Kong is one of gradual infiltration under the of economic and talent flow. The population reset strategy mirrors the CCP's earlier approach in Xinjiang, where they actively promoted the settlement of Han Chinese to alter the region's ethnic balance and cultural environment. The goal was to increase control and suppress resistance. While the methods in Hong Kong may differ, the logic remains the same. For Hong Kong residents, local culture and the space for pro-democracy movement will gradually shrink. Under the CCP's deliberate cultivation, a new generation growing up in an environment shaped by mainland China will have values that are fully aligned with those of the CCP. In August 2022, Chinese ambassador to France Liu Xiaye stated in an interview that after China reunifies Taiwan, the Taiwanese people would undergo re-education. Taiwanese scholar Lai Rongwei noted that Taiwan is currently facing a similar issue. In cross-strait exchanges, the CCP, through local agents in Taiwan, is attracting teachers and secondary school students to visit China. Even parents can take their children to China during the Dragon Boat Festival. The CCP's strategy of influencing teenagers is being increasingly replicated. Chinese expert Xu Ke commented that the CCP's re-education camps in Xinjiang have now been extended to Hong Kong as an experiment. If Taiwanese do not resist the CCP's ideological infiltration, they will likely import this model when Taiwan is unified. If democratic countries do not stop the CCP, China's repressive methods will be exported worldwide.